everybody, and welcome to another edition of Sports View. I'm Ron Cameron. Bob Page is on vacation, which, to really explain
Easy
it
now,
best,
easy.
he's bar hopping.
No, don't do that.
He does. That's all he does.
Here's a man that is away. He has no opportunity to defend himself because he isn't here, but I'm joining you. My name is Marty Adler. Thank you for having me.
Not the camera didn't have you. I had you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Tell us who our sponsors are today.
Okay, and then Marty Adler is the guest on the show. So we're going to talk Red Wing hockey. We'll talk about the Pistons. We'll talk about the Tigers and about his career, which will take the other 10 seconds of the show. Okay, Al Dietrich Oldsmobile is our prime sponsor on M59, which is Highland Road, which Bob Page does not know. Out there in Waterford, not Pontiac, Waterford. It's in Waterford, right by the airport out in Waterford. Cattleman's Meat Center, and that's in Hamtramck and Eastern Market with David Lee Roth and the folks. T-Com Pagers, if you're a busy corporate executive like I am, you deserve a pager. Top Hat Hamburger, where Bob Page would hang out. That's all he could afford when he was here before he got the job in New York. And they have several locations, as you know. Binary Computers, John Waters and the gang over there will take good care of you for all your computer needs on Woodward at 12 Mile in Berkeley. We have PASS, Pro-Am Sports Systems, where they felt compiled to hire this guy that's on the program today, Marty Adler, when Marty was fired by Channel 9. And then we have the hot new nightclub, The Sting, that's on James Cousins right at the lodge there. And, of course, last but certainly not least, Sports Fans Journal, just going strong with 76 pages, soon to be 84. It's just growing and growing and growing. And if you'd like to get involved in the advertising department, or if you want to subscribe to this fine magazine with all the stars, Murray Harbaugh, George Kell, on down, all you have to do is call this number if you want a job in advertising, 751-1818.
It should be clarified that he's going from 76 to 84 pages, and those 8 pages that are being added are all commercials.
No. There's no such thing as commercials in magazines. They're ads.
Ads. I'm sorry.
Commercials are on radio.
They're all ads.
Television.
Probably full-page ads.
However,
which probably translate into lots of money and no sports.
Yes, we have 50 writers in this magazine. Are you kidding me? 50 writers.
Yes, I know. There are an awful lot of great writers. Now, how do they get these all in? Do they all have deadlines?
They all have deadlines, and they do pretty good. We have the odd bad one, but
anybody late for a deadline?
Bob Page was late once.
And do you suspend him when he's late?
They're late for a deadline. You see, we want 2 or 3 not to come in each month because where there's so many writers, we don't have the room.
You have to make room for the ads.
We have to make room for the ads. That's right. The ads pay certain bills. Okay. You know, they say 93% of publications go out of business this first year. We have been in business now 2.5 years and doing great, I might add. So Sports Fans Journal, if you want to subscribe, 751-1818 is the number.
All right, listen. All right, you want to talk about commercials? He wants to talk about commercials.
No, I don't.
He wants to talk about ads. That's all he wants to talk about.
You're the one that said it.
So let's talk about it. Wait a second. I have this thing about sports people in the media doing commercials and what have you. Like a couple years ago, all you saw were, remember the Tigers for the Kroger stores, and you saw them through the jungle and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? Remember that commercial?
That was a farce.
Right? Remember that? Then there was the one with the Pistons. They were all singing songs.
That was a farce, too.
Okay, this is one of the reasons why I thought the Pistons were doing poorly a few years ago, because these guys were into doing commercials more than actually playing basketball. So now, take a look at the ads that are out there right now. And you know, whenever you see these guys, whenever these guys are having to spend their time and putting their mind into doing commercials,
something a lot of them don't have,
run
is
into
a mind.
A lot of trouble
Today.
All right, we've got Stevie Eiserman doing commercials, right? All right, that's the #1 commercial.
He's got that Canadian swing, and I'd hate to face off against him.
Yeah, it's a great look. You got Chuck Daly. Let's stick with hockey. Who we got on the hockey team?
Jacques Demers.
Doing commercials. Jacques Demers, he's doing it for Cousins.
Jacques' fine, except when he says they're in the league by themselves. That's not right, Jacques. Not quite.
And he also does which cars?
The Dodge
Boys, right? He's one of the Dodge Boys. Okay.
And Sparky, of course.
Well, let's stick with Red Wings.
On this side of town, go see.
By the way, interesting. The best line that came from the NHL All-Star Game, where Wayne Gretzky wins the car. Steve Eiserman was asked by one of the reporters when he came back to the Detroit airport, were you worried or did it bother you that you didn't win the car? He says, no, it was a Chrysler and I'm a Dodge boy, or I'm a Ford guy,
I'm a Dodge boy, yeah.
Anyway, that was a great line that he had, okay?
Let's talk about your career.
No. Let's get into all these sports guys and their commercials.
That's our filler, Marty. When you got 10 seconds left in a break, you have to do something with the 10 seconds. Let's talk about your career for 10 seconds.
Oh, you got 10 seconds left?
Yeah. Now, you started in Channel 9, what, about 1950? When was the first year of television? Help me out, folks. 52 is when you started your career?
No, 1969 there, and
of course you were long before that.
I didn't last very long.
You were with Conrad.
That is it. Let's go to the break. I don't want to talk about this.
You were doing commercials with Belvedere with Conrad Patrick back in the 40s.
Mr. Belvedere and I did commercials, yes, when Conrad got sick and I had to fill in, and I did commercials with Mr.
So you've
Belvedere.
been in the business for...
I made Mr. Belvedere everything that he is today.
And that, he's going bankrupt. That's why he's going to blame you for it, too.
No, I stopped doing them, and now he's a very rich man.
Yes, yes.
Resting on his laurels and morals and enjoying...
morals and laurels?
Enjoying horseback riding on the farm, because he loves
then you
horses.
left Channel 9 in a real dispute over the Canadian and the American money that you were getting and all that stuff.
No, it wasn't quite that. No, it wasn't that at all. I was doing horse racing, and I was doing Channel 9 sports, right? And a new boss came in, and he just didn't like the previous situation and told me to make a choice. And that was it. That's all.
That's where you met Bob Page, because Bob Page was a horse's rear end. And that's when you did the horse race, you found Bob Page.
No, I thought in all those acts, you two guys were the horses, and it was Bob that was the head.
The rear? No, he was the rear. He was the rear of the horse.
This is silly. No, we're trying to bring some class to the program this
You
afternoon,
are? What are you
right?
doing here then?
Because it was either you alone or you with me.
Oh, God, I guess
so that's why I'm here,
okay.
to try and help everybody out.
Now, okay.
Are we going to a break? You
No,
said
I
there were
didn't
only
get a signal? No.
Because I don't want to talk about me. Well, let's talk about sports. Let me get your opinion.
Okay, go ahead.
People, you know what they enjoy sitting at home? Oh, now we're getting to the break.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what
when
they
you start
enjoy.
talking, they say, time to go.
This is what they enjoy about this show. When somebody brings up a subject to you and you give us your philosophy on it. Because then the sports fan that's sitting at home has the opportunity of agreeing or disagreeing with you. This is the wonderful thing about sports. We should not have any more wars. We should bring the Russians over here, or the Soviets as we say now, and let them play hockey, and whoever wins the war. That's it. No more guns and
I have no idea what he's saying.
What, do they skate in Nicaragua? Maybe they play basketball in Nicaragua.
Have you been a sports fan all your life?
Yeah, I've liked a lot of sports, but the trouble is, you see, when you get my age, you can't play anymore. And if you want to stay in it, you got to cover it.
20 years ago, you were past your prime when it comes to playing.
What sport did you ever play, big boy? Big boy, there it is. You're the guy that stands there for Elias Brother, right? That's you. That's you. That's right. The Elias Brother with the little guy with the hamburger standing there and going around. That's you, right?
Not at all.
Oh.
Not at all. Well, we do have to take a break. Marty Adler is the guest in here, and I'll try to get a couple words in edgewise when we come back after this timeout.
We're about to embark on a great crusade. The eyes of the world are upon us. Our mission, crush the enemy before they crush us. Like America, Uncle Al will come through for you, crushing prices on Oldsmobiles and GMC trucks. Say hello, America. Sayonara Imports. Tanks, but no tanks to imports.
Visit Uncle Al's giant new dealership on M59 just east of the Pontiac Airport. Where the runway ends, the deals begin.
If you're a sports fan, you should subscribe to this magazine, Sports Fans Journal, and here's how. Our monthly columns include Ernie Harwell, George Kell, Dick Vitale, Denny McClain, George Allen, Bob Feller, Jimmy Carson, George Blaha, Bill Gadsby, and a whole lot more. Sports Fans Journal is available at newsstands and bookstores. To subscribe, call our 24-hour hotline at 751-1818. Sports Fans Journal, a must for sports fans living anywhere in Michigan or the U.S. Call now, 751-1818.
Hey, where's the meat?
It's right here at Cattleman's Meat Center, where you can buy fresh, lean, top-quality beef, pork, veal, poultry, even fish. Packing house style. Save up to 40%. Quality guaranteed.
Where's the meat?
Come inside our 3,500 square foot cooler for everyday low prices like
this week, packing house style standing ribs. Cut your way free.
Cattleman's Meat Center, Eastern Market area, and Hamtramck. No limit. Save up to 40%.
You said it, honey.
We're back on Sports View, and you sports fanatics will know this guy is my guest, sitting in for Bob Page, who's on a binge probably in Florida as he's on vacation. Marty
Probably
Adler.
a very well-deserved vacation, because Bob does an awful lot of work, and it takes an awful lot out of you being in New York at the Madison Square Garden Network, coming back here to do a show with you, and then having to go back again. I mean, it is tiring, and that's probably why Bob is here. But anyway, there are a couple things I want to talk about. Recently, George Steinbrenner had his State of the Yankees address to the Yankees, and he said to everybody
that he would
not
that on the air this morning.
with Dallas Green. What do you think? Do you think that Steinbrenner is no longer going to interfere with the Yankees?
Do you believe that?
Not for you. If I believe that you weighed 140 pounds, then I would believe that.
I am closer to 140 pounds in that statement he made.
Wait a second. Yeah, that's right. You're closer to 140. Yeah, and you're more like 260, right?
No, I'm not 260.
Oh, I'm sorry. It must be the sweater. 240.
Right around the 200 mark.
200 mark.
Yeah. Give or take.
Are we
a pound or
talking
two.
pounds or kilograms?
No,
since
we're
I'm on
talking
here?
pounds.
Kilograms
here.
are like
we're talking
2 times pounds.
Hey, since you're doing the Red Wings and Pistons on.
Wait a second. Don't get off the subject. What do you think about
I just said
Steinbrenner's comment?
I just think it's ludicrous, and who'd even listen to this clown?
Okay, because once we get on a subject, I want to stick with the subject. I want to talk about commercials before. Now I want to talk a little bit about baseball, and then we'll get into the Red Wings if you want to get into that. That's the way that you do it. That's the way a sport. See,
What else can I
the
say
plan
about
for
what-
doing a sportscast. You started off here, and
This isn't a sports cast. This is a talk show.
yeah, it's a talk, but you've got to work your way. You see, that's the plan. Okay.
Yeah, is that
so
the
let's talk one more thing about baseball. A couple things about baseball. The fantasy camp. What do you know about the Tiger fantasy camp? I can tell you all about it if you want to know. I want to tell you about this too.
Not really.
What do you
Go
know
ahead.
about it? First of all.
Nothing. Very little about it. I know that you got a bunch of jock sniffers that go down to they'll go down to
Lakeland, right. They
meet
pay
with the-
$2,600.
Yes.
Okay. Jerry Lewis and Jim Price put this thing on. I want you to know about this. Matt Wilcox
Dean
was
Martin-
there. Huh?
Matt Wilcox.
Matt Wilcox was
Milt Wilcox.
Milt Wilcox was there. I'm sorry.
You should be. You should be.
I'm sorry. Milt is watching too because he always watches the show. I want you to know that. Okay. Milt Wilcox was there. All right.
He's getting some tips
Hank
on how to do
Gary
a show,
was
maybe.
there. I had my thrill. I got to hit against Hank Gary. That's right. That's right. I'll tell you. And I fouled it off. And then, listen to this.
fouled it off?
I got
fouled it
a
off?
new appreciation for pitchers. I got a chance to throw against the speed gun, the radar gun, right? And I threw the ball 46 miles an hour. What do you think?
Bud Lynch throws harder right-handed. He didn't have a right hand.
All right.
not
Anyway,
good.
a bunch of guys. There were
That's not
100
good.
people there, and one female. She used to be from Michigan.
She probably outthrew you.
And she's.
She used to be from Michigan. Is she dead?
No, now she's from Florida.
No,
She's living down in
she used
Florida.
to be from Michigan.
Wait, would you let
She
me
used to
finish?
live in Michigan. She'd
Let
be
me
dead if
finish.
she used to be from
You know,
Michigan.
it's very rude to interrupt. I
Okay,
want you to know.
go
I
ahead.
never do that to you. You know that.
I beg your pardon.
Okay. Anyway, there were 100 people that showed up at camp this year. They paid $2,600
Did you pay
apiece.
$2,600?
No, I was
Canadian?
I was covering
That'd be
it for
about
pass.
1,000.
In Canadian, it's about 8,000. In any event, there were 2 Canadians there, as a matter of fact. One from Toronto and one from Kingston. One from Etobicoke and one from Kingston. Actually, Newmarket. In any event, I had 100 people go down there, and let me tell you what the thrill was. Willie Horton steps up to the plate in the fantasy game, okay? They've got the guys out in the outfield. And when Willie Horton steps up, here's a guy with 325 home runs in his career. Every fantasy camper came out onto the field in the outfield. You had 100 people in the outfield. What does Willie do? He pops it up, right? It goes up in the air. I got it, and it
blew it.
drops.
Yeah.
It drops. 100 people. That was the highlight. And by the way, on March 17th on Pass, we are going to show that play and all the highlights from the fantasy camp this year. Okay? Ready?
Pass. I thought you had more to do than that.
All right.
Watching Marty Adler butcher a pop-up on
No, it
Pass?
wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was Willie Horton. Willie Horton. Now,
You said Willie hit the ball and you blew it.
Willie, it wasn't me that blew it. It was another fantasy
You
camp.
said you got it.
Pete Rose was called in a week ago, and he was chastised because he supposedly wagers on basketball, on football, and on horses.
I don't think you should do that. They better.
Should he do that or shouldn't
No,
he
he
do
should
that?
not do that.
Why not?
Well, I just don't think because gambling's illegal there, more or less. Well,
If it's not illegal, if you could do it in Vegas, and he has.
I think you associate with the wrong people, and I think is a goodwill thing toward the game. You shouldn't do that.
It's a bad perception for little kids
Sure
that
it
are
is.
watching.
Sure
You
it is.
shouldn't gamble.
I mean, Pete Rose has been a great player. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He has more hits than any player in the history of baseball. He made himself a player by doing it the old-fashioned way. He earned it. He worked hard.
Are you saying then that gambling is a derogatory thing?
Sure, for a person like Pete Rose, it sure is.
What about lotteries? Everybody is now into lotteries.
Well, it's a little
It's
bit
not-
different.
that's
You're not
different?
association. It's the association part, and it's a little bit different. I don't mind it.
So what do you think of gambling in sports? Like, to many people,
Many people, that's all they follow sports.
to
is
many
gamble.
people, it's not whether you win or lose, but whether you cover the
That's
point
right.
spread. All right?
That's the facts of the sick society of today. That's all.
Okay, now with that in mind, when this show is being seen, we will have already, the Piston game and the Cleveland Cavalier game will be
Yeah.
over in Cleveland.
That's right.
Pistons are going into Cleveland, and Cleveland is probably 5-point favorites in this game. Who's going to cover?
That's Tuesday. The game's over.
I know,
By
the
time
game
they
is
watch
over.
this show.
That's why you're on the spot right now. You are on the spot. We already know whether or not Cleveland has defeated the Pistons or Pistons have defeated Cleveland.
I think Cleveland will win in Cleveland.
Right.
I think the Pistons
they will be
win here.
4.5 to 5 point favorites.
Let's knock it on the door, but I would say Cleveland would cover.
Cleveland will cover the 4.5 to 5 points. That's what
Yeah,
you're
I would
saying.
think so, yeah.
And then when they come back to the Palace on Friday night now, okay, this is going to be later.
Well, give me the odds.
Okay, I'll tell you right now, Pistons will be favored by 6 points at the Palace over Cleveland.
I think the
Tough, eh?
Pistons will win.
Yeah.
But if they cover, it's going to be awfully tight. It's
Okay,
gonna be
I got
awfully
one
tight.
more for you. Red Wings are going to be 1.5 puck favorites over the Islanders on Wednesday night. So in other words, when you see this,
That game is in Detroit.
That game is in Detroit, and the Red Wings will be 1.5
I
puck
think the Wings will
favorites.
cover that.
You think they will?
What are we talking?
Okay, I'm letting you know. You wanted to talk some shtick?
Okay, since we're talking hockey now,
All right.
the division race is over. The Snorris division is over. You go back to
I
St.
think there's no question Red Wings are winners.
Okay.
It was just about this time last year that Jacques Demers started to position his team for the playoffs. He got a big enough lead last year. Now what you're going to start seeing, I think they have to win another 1 or 2 games. They've got two games coming up.
Send Yzerman to Florida for a few days.
Steve Yzerman will not want to go to Florida. He will.
The heck with
it'll
what he
be
wants to
cabin
do
fever
now.
for him.
Well, let him go just to relax. He's worked too hard.
That's what they did with Larry Robinson.
He's played too many games, not too many games, but he's played too many minutes. He's probably played more minutes than anybody, with the exception of Gretzky, and maybe more than Gretzky this year. It's time that Steve Yzerman got a rest. You want him healthy and ready to go and sharp for the playoffs.
We'll talk more Red Wings right after we take this pause.
Oh,
It's
you're
time for a
gonna take a
timeout.
break? Okay, go ahead.
Time for a timeout, okay? We'll be back after this. We'll talk more about the Red Wings and some more sports with Ron.
I'm sorry, she's out of the office for the day and there's no way to contact her.
With a pager from TCOM, you could contact her anytime.
I know it's an emergency, but it's out of the building now. May I call you later?
With Motorola pagers from TCOM, you can deal with emergencies now.
I'm sorry, our delivery man is on call right now. We won't be able to help you till tomorrow.
Hi, my name is Fred Wetzel with TCOM Paging. If these problems seem familiar to you, then you need a TCOM pager. You'd be surprised how affordable they are. Probably wonder how you've done without one. Give us a call at 559-6826.
Binary Computers is celebrating their 9th anniversary, and how they've become one of Detroit's top independent computer dealers is really simple. A great selection of brand name computer products, outstanding service, and highly knowledgeable trained consultants who make things understandable in plain English. Binary now has facsimile machines and telephone systems, so stop in for special anniversary savings at Binary Computers, Metro Detroit's Business Computer Center, Woodward at 12 Mile, Berkeley. Remember, if you haven't got a computer, you'd better get one before your competitor does.
It's time to eat and I'm so hungry now. My stomach's turning upside down. Day or night when I want to bite, I want the best little burger in town. French fries, onion chips, creamy chocolate shakes, baby, they're so hard to refuse. For dinner or lunch, there's a lot to munch, and for breakfast you just can't lose. Night or day, it's Top Hat, Top Hat. Make it quick, stop that, Top Hat.
We're back on Sports View with Marty Adler, long time television sportscaster in Windsor, now doing...
No, I've only been a sportscaster a few years.
Of course, a long time announcer in Windsor that's now doing...
I used to do a show called Reach for the Top, which was a high school quiz show for students.
That was long before my time.
Yeah, I used to do a dance party show, and I used to do an afternoon interview show where I interviewed everybody from Billy Graham to Al Kaline.
The Billy Graham magic didn't work on you, did it, though?
I will tell you this. We had some, I don't know what this has got to do with sports, we had some faith healers on. Can I tell you about the faith healer story? This is not Billy Graham. We had some faith healers on, and I asked them to pray for me to hit a triactor at the racetrack. And you think they didn't do it? We held hands and we prayed that I hit a triactor. And sure enough, I hit a triactor that night at the track. We did 2 shows with them. One was pre-taped. The first show we did with them...
Marty, how much money did you win?
Oh, $300. That's
that all?
Yeah.
That's Canadian.
Then the other show, I asked them
American.
to pray for me for hair. Now it just shows you. I don't know about faith healers.
Didn't work.
You're right, it didn't work. Okay.
It definitely did not work.
Let's get back to the Red Wings right now, okay? Yeah. Peter Klima, what do you think of him these days?
A tremendous talent. There are very few players in the league that could do what Peter Klima does, but obviously his elevator does not go all the way to the top.
Well, lately his character has been flawless. He has been terrific lately. Ever since, it was coincidental that the time he had his problem with the court business and the time he had to serve away, the time he had to serve in the hospital, was the same time his parents were here, you see. And maybe it coincided, and maybe Dad got to him.
Well, he is playing better, but Peter Klima should be doing even a lot better than he's doing right now. Peter Klima's got the tools. He's playing with one of the best passers in the NHL, in Adam Oates. Adam gives him the puck, and he's a great passer, and just go to the net. And that's all you have to do with Oates, because he's a great way of finding you. He still misses way too many chances. He should be scoring 40 and 50 goals this year in the league without blinking, and he doesn't do it. I don't believe the Red Wings when they say he has no value, because I think he does have some value up there, and I would find out what the value is. But, however, he is playing better, and his head seems to be screwed on a lot better.
Yeah. Will you change your opinion a little bit on Peter? If he continues along the same course?
Well, he's never really had a great season here. The 30-some goals he scored, last year, whatever it was. I'd like to see Peter Klima, because he's one of the few players in this league that will bring you right out of your seats.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he is a gentleman. He really is a nice guy. Okay,
that's the bartenders.
You mentioned Adam Oates. Adam Oates' game has really turned around.
Yes, it has, and I think that part of that is Peter Klima playing hard, but Adam Oates is a great passer. The Red Wings have a lot of good passers in the centerman. They still have to score more goals. They need some gunners to the net. Defensively, the Red Wings are going to lose in the conference playoffs, because they're not in the same league as in Edmonton or Calgary.
Now, a guy that doesn't...
Calgary.
Calgary, as they say. Yeah. Adam Oates does have a great nose for the net, and I think the Wings need...
Not a nose for the net. No, he doesn't.
No, he has a nose where the net is, yeah.
He knows where the net is, but he doesn't put the puck in the net.
No, he has a great nose for the net. He knows to go to the net. You got to do that a lot.
Nose for the net means whether you're scoring goals, Marty.
No, but he's got a great nose to go to the net.
He goes to the net. He passes it off.
All right. And now another one that doesn't get a lot of attention, but very quietly is having the best season he's ever had, Dave Barr.
Oh, he is. He goes up and down his wing. He checks. He's done a nice job for this team. It's really good to see Dave Barr come through, but that helps playing with a great passing centerman.
I was amazed when Tim Higgins was recalled from Adirondack. What a great game he played.
Yes, he did play well. He got a goal off a feed by Shabbat, and I think he played well before he was sent down. I was a little surprised. I think if they had to do it all over again, they would have kept Higgins there.
Now, let me tell you, one of my candidates for one of the top 3 stars of the game, particularly a week ago when the Wings came back in that Pittsburgh game. Now, he would have been the GOAT early in the game, and I'm talking about Lee Norwood, because he gave the puck away to Mario Lemieux. And did you hear what Mario did later after Norwood gave Mario the puck? Mario went up to Norwood and said, "I knew that you were going to put the puck there because I was watching your eyes." And as a result, he didn't have to tell Norwood this. He told him that during the game. Interesting story. In any event, Lee Norwood comes back, gets an assist, gets a goal, and he is playing with great intensity, I think, right now.
Yeah, they can't beat Edmonton or Calgary, can they?
Well, if Jacques...
No waffling done on this show. Say it
no
right
waffling?
Yeah.
Now, I predicted back in August, right to Jimmy Devellano in an interview with him, that Calgary would win the Stanley Cup in 1988.
I think it's going to... Listen to this one. I think it's going to be in the finals. I know it's going
Okay, all right. He's got a prediction, folks. Okay.
Edmonton will knock off Calgary again. Then they will play Philadelphia for the Stanley Cup.
Tim Kerr from Tecumseh, Ontario.
Tim Kerr is quietly having a good year. He's injured. 8 operations on his shoulder. He's got
Keeps
40
on
goals,
back,
38, 39 goals. He's doing a nice job. And Philadelphia will be tough in the playoffs if Kerr can stay healthy and they get a better job in the nets. And he's going to have to raise his level just one little notch.
Okay.
And that's Hextall. So with that, we're going to come back and talk more with Marty Adler after this timeout.
The Pistons are slamming and jamming their way through the NBA's toughest opposition this winter on Pass. Follow all the hot hoops as Detroit's bad boys drive their way toward their 2nd straight Central Division championship under the direction of Chuck Daly. The Pistons road down the second half of the season promises to be filled with some new twists and turns. Stay tuned as some of the season's best contests are yet to come. The excitement of Piston basketball here on Pass Sports, Michigan's cable network of champions.
That was me, John Rouser, not too many years ago. as a defensive back with the Pittsburgh Steelers after my playing career at the University of Michigan had ended. Now I'm proud to be co-owner of The Sting, Detroit's most dynamic nightclub. We've got continuous live DJs, continuous videos, and live entertainment every weekend. But you don't have to disco. The Sting is also a great after-work place to meet other professional people who frequent our lounge. So stop in and see us at The Sting. We're in the old Playboy Club, the lodge at Greenfield, with plenty of lighted, secured parking.
May I help you? Yeah! I want something good for my heart. Your heart? Yeah! And keep it light and lean for a healthy heart. What do you know what I mean? How about pasta with fruit? That's great! For a healthy heart.
Eating the right foods can help keep your heart healthy. The American Heart Association, we're fighting for your life.
If you're a sports fan, you should subscribe to this magazine, Sports Fans Journal, and here's how. Our monthly columnists include Ernie Harwell, George Kell, Dick Vitale, Denny McClain, George Allen, Bob Feller, Jimmy Carson, George Blaha, Bill Gadsby, and a whole lot more. Sports Fans Journal is available at newsstands and bookstores. To subscribe, call our 24-hour hotline at 751-1818. Sports Fans Journal, a must for sports fans living anywhere in Michigan or the U.S. Call now, 751-1818. Closing it out with Marty Adler, sportscaster. Now,
one guy I want you to remember. You heard it here, okay, on Sports Fans Journal.
No, Sports View is the name of the TV show. Sports Fans
I just wanted to get his reaction. Okay, listen to this name. Brian Fogarty of the Niagara Falls Thunder.
The number one pick.
Okay, remember this name. This kid will be in the Quebec lineup next year. He has broken just about every major record in the Ontario Hockey League, Canadian Junior Hockey, records held by guys like Bobby Orr. Broke every one of Orr's records. Brian Fogarty.
Okay, now we're talking about the Pistons. I think any one of 10 teams can win the championship, including the Pistons this season. I don't think anybody's clear-cut, but 8 to 10 teams can win. The Celtics going to be tough when Bird comes back with that last
No, they won't. No,
Pickney coming over.
You can forget about the Celtics. There's no question.
They're better than they were last year. And last year, they
New York Knicks is the team that I'm really worried about.
The press is going to kill the Knicks at the end of the season, but they still have a chance. Utah got a chance.
Once again, you live by the gun, you die by the gun. Those three-point shooters, can they keep on?
So I'll save a prediction in the NBA championship.
No, I want it now.
All right,
give me one now. Who's going to win the NBA championship?
I would have liked Atlanta if Willis comes back, but it doesn't look like Willis is going to come back.
Come on, let's go. Let's not hedge. I mean, we've got time. We're wrapping up the show.
I'm going to have to pass on that till next couple weeks. When you come back again, LePage is taking vacation. See, they'll tell him he's drinking all the time, so he won't be back.
We can't have any more of these boring shows.
Thanks
we got to have a guest.
What do we got? About a minute left here, guys. Whatever that's supposed to mean with a fist. I mean, he thinks he's boxing. Al Dietrich Oldsmobile on M59 in Waterford. Great deal on a car there. Cattleman's Meat Center with David Roth and Hamtramck and Eastern Markets are locations. T-Com Pagers, Top Hat Hamburgers, Binary Computers with John Waters and the gang on Woodward 12 Mile. Pro-Am Sports Systems Pass where Marty Adler works. The Sting, the Hot Nightclub on the Lodge. James Cousins to be specific. And Sports Fans Journal is the hottest magazine going. Call this number 24 hours a day. Also, if you're looking to work in advertising, give me a call. 751-1818. You should subscribe to the hottest magazine in the country going. Thanks, Marty Adler. We'll be on next week. Maybe Bob Page will be here. Who knows? Bye-bye, everybody.